G'day, guys. Welcome to episode 5 of the Collateral Sports Podcast. I'm Musty, and with me as my co-host tonight is Lockie. And thank you for joining us again as we unpack this week in sports. We'll be starting off tonight by wrapping up week 6 of the NFL season. And then with the NBA season just mere days away, we'll be dedicating the rest of this episode to just that.
Yeah, look, we've got an exciting episode ahead. I'm excited to talk through all things NBA. We're going to be talking who's going to be winning what awards, like Rookie of the Year, MVP, Sixth Man of the Year, things like that. So that'll be interesting to look at that. But I'm also excited to look at. You and I both had drafts for our fantasy leagues over the last couple of weeks. So excited to have a look at some of those teams and some of the picks you're happy with, and some of the ones you're maybe feeling a little regretful about, or maybe
Got a
some
couple.
or maybe some picks that some other people have done in your league that you found a bit bizarre. But no further ado, let's just move straight into the NFL and start looking at that. We've already got Ice in the chat saying, "How about them Ravens?"
We'll get to them, mate. Don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Not
So
too cool. Well, week 6 of the NBA season, NFL season rather, started off with the Bucks in Philadelphia. Bucks played at Philly, ended up taking this one 28-22. Look, Brady was amazing again, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lenny Fournette was great too, with 81 yards, 2 tutties. Antonio Brown has just been absolutely finding his form lately with another 100-yard game. Look, Hurts looked really, really bad throwing the football, and he had less than 100 yards going into the fourth quarter. He got a little bit done than I thought with his legs, and the score was a lot closer than it really looked. But yeah, overall, Bucks just looking really dominant at the moment. Next up, we had the Dolphins at the versus Jags. This game was actually in London. Jags take this one 23-20. It was Tua's first game back from injury. He had 330 yards and found his rookie wide receiver Jalen Waddle for 2 touchdowns. But yeah, congratulations, Jags. They get their first win of the season. Not even well, they're still winless in America, I suppose, but finally on the board. Next up, we had the Chiefs at Washington. Chiefs take this one 31-13. The game was really close going into the fourth quarter. Chiefs were only up 17-13, but the Washington football team went scoreless the entire second half, and Chiefs pulled away easily. Against a better team, they might have struggled a little bit more, but yeah, Washington definitely collapsed there. Next up, we had the Rams at the Giants. Rams take this one 38-11. Rams put up 28 of their points in the second quarter alone, which is incredible. I'm not sure if Danny Dimes was confused with the Rams wearing blue or he was still concussed from last week because he threw 3 picks, 0 touchdowns. Cup man, absolutely phenomenal. 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. I know you would have loved that one, mate. Next up, we had the Texans at the Colts. Colts take this one 31-3. Look, Colts really needed this win, and they moved to 2-4 in the year. Jonathan Taylor ran it down Houston's throat all night, 145 yards, 2 touchdowns. Look, Texans might actually be the worst team in the NFL. But hold that thought. Next up, we had the Bengals at the Lions. Bengals take this one 34-11. Honestly, and you know about this more than me, Jared Goff is telling the Texans to hold his beer as he's trying to lay
yeah,
claim to the worst team in the NFL right now.
yeah,
He
yeah,
had
yeah.
38 passing yards at the half, and he led the Lions to 6 straight punts to start the game, only broken up by his one interception. I love the underdogs, and all year I've been saying Lions better than their 0-6 record shows now. But man, they stink at the moment. They need to get the ball out of Goff's hands as much as they can possibly can, and try to rely on DeAndre Swift to win games. But man, how about Jared Goff, eh?
Oh man. As a Rams fan, I'm happy to see the rear end of him.
Yeah, and only to get Matty Stafford back for it as well. So look, whatever it costs to get him is 100% worth it because Jared Goff is Jared Goff at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
Stafford's been
yeah,
playing well for us. Like, it's hard to argue.
yeah, bloody oath. And yeah, like Lions are only winning like a couple games every season with Stafford, but man, you can just see the absolute difference where once you actually put like a competent team around him. Yeah, man, Jared Goff absolutely trash at this point. Next up we had the Packers at the Bears, and I love this one. We took this one 24-14. Yeah, look, Aaron, what was his name? Justin Herbert looked really good running the ball, but Aaron Rodgers scrambled for a touchdown to put the game away was my highlight of the game. Him yelling "I own you" to the Bears fans was the ultimate icing on the cake for me. Chargers. Next up was Chargers at Ravens. There you go, Ice. Ravens take this one 34-6. The Baltimore buzzsaw continues as the team rushes for a total of 190 yards and 3 touchdowns. They moved to 5-1. Yeah, I had Ravens winning this one, but I didn't see this scoreline coming. They absolutely dismantled the Chargers, who are looking hot as well.
Yeah,
Next up,
it's
we had the
surprising.
yeah, yeah,
It's definitely
yeah. No, I
surprising
couldn't.
to see the Chargers fall the way they did, and like such, like, they were dominated. It wasn't one like it wasn't a back and forth affair. It was a steamrolling at 34-6. Like, the Chargers look
Yeah, it was
so
so
good,
close.
have looked so good all season. It was looking like they were going to be on a dominant tear from LA. But like it's good to see Baltimore fighting back against the big dogs.
Yeah, man, Baltimore looked absolutely unreal and getting it done against like good teams as well. There's a lot of teams that have like good winning records and stuff like that, but they're getting it done against trash teams, like Broncos a la the start of the season. But man, Ravens are getting it done against everybody anywhere they want it. So yeah, looking absolutely hot. They got to be like top three Super Bowl contenders this year. Yeah, looking forward to seeing the rest of them for this season. Next up, we had the Vikings at the Panthers. This one went to OT as the Vikings took this one 34-28. Captain Kirk Cousins goes nuclear once more with 373 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook back from injury, ran for 140 yards. Look, credit to Sam Darnold. Didn't think this game was going to be as close as it was, and he did throw the touchdown for them with 46 seconds left to send it to OT. Yeah, didn't see this one coming as close as it was. Both teams now moved to 3-3. Vikings look unreal, especially now once they get Dalvin Cook back. Next up, we had the Cardinals at the Browns. Mr. Future MVP Kyler Murray throws another 4 touchdown, 0 interception game, and they'll get the win in Cleveland. Baker's still pretty banged up at the moment. Wasn't awful, but no Chubb means no dub, unfortunately for the Browns. Browns will need him back healthy soon. Cardinals now still remain the only undefeated team at 6-0. So let's go Cardinals. Next up, we have the Raiders at the Broncos. Fun fact for this one: Bridgewater started off this season 4 games, 0 interceptions, and has now had 4 interceptions in his last 2 games, 3 of which came from the game today. Game was a blowout. Broncos scored 14 points when the game was pretty much over. Broncos started hot and now starting to flop. Next up after this one was my game of the week. So we had Cowboys at Patriots. There's a lot to unpack with this one, guys, so just bear with me here. The Patriots started off this game hot. They put up 14 points in the first 10 minutes, but they'd have to wait till the fourth quarter to score again. They put together a great drive at the top of the second before Mac Jones was split in half by a sack from Gregory and fumbled the ball. Dak Prescott, unreal, led the Cowboys offense for 445 yards and 3 touchdowns. The last 8 or so minutes of the fourth quarter, I think it was like one of the best from recent memory. Pats go up 21-20 with 6 seconds left on the clock. Cowboys with 3 minutes left opt to take a field goal from 51 yards out, and for some bizarre reason, and miss, which I thought with how the Pats drives been going all night, the game was over because they've just been extending those. But just 2 plays into the Patriots drive, Trevon Diggs collects another pick six for his leading 6th interception of the year. Cowboys take the lead 26-21, and I thought they were surely home. Mac Jones says no. First play of the drive, after his interception, he throws a 75-yard bomb to Bourne, and Pats retake the lead 29-26 with 2 minutes to play. CeeDee Lamb had so many incredible catches on his way to 140 yards today. None more clutch than a 24-yard reception to put the Cowboys into field goal range. And then Zolan makes good after his miss with a 49-yard kick to tie the game and force OT. Pats got the ball first, and only after 5 plays ended up having it punted away. And once Dak got that ball back, it was all over. Dak found CeeDee for a 35-yard walk-off touchdown to win the game. Oh my god, this game had everything, mate.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys. I saw someone post today that they didn't rate. It was embarrassing to lose to the Cowboys. But I don't get it. I don't understand it. The Cowboys, and I think I said this last week. I might not have, but I feel like I've definitely at least said it to you. The Cowboys are a great side this season.
Oh,
They're
definitely,
not. I don't think that. I
better
don't
than
think.
advertised.
I don't think they're a Super Bowl winning side, but I think they're a good side. Like
Yeah,
they're
definitely.
5-1. It's pretty hard to argue with that. They're up there with the elite team so far this season. Like
Yeah, definitely.
Dak's playing out of his brain. Like passed for 3 tutties. Obviously, there was 1 interception, but you can look past that when you get 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Um, 36 from 51. So like throwing was alright. Like so,
not bad.
yeah, like but Ezekiel Elliott, man, like Mr. Consistent, like 17 carries for 69 yards, just always in the mix as far as running that ball. Hey, like it's hard to look past Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, like it's just one of those guys. Like you always like I think the Cowboys will always look to Elliott to see what he can, what sort of magic he can kind of mix up. CeeDee Lamb, 9 receptions, 149 yards. Uh, Dalton Schultz, 5 receptions, 79 yards. Amari Cooper, 5 receptions, 55 yards. Ezekiel Elliott, again. So not only did he carry the ball 17 times, he also received it 7 for 50 yards. So the man was just going off. Like it seems to me like Ezekiel Elliott's a real key part of this Cowboys offense at the moment if they're going to win games.
Oh, definitely, and especially if everyone more or less riding, obviously before the season even started, like his whole tenure was going to be pretty much over at this point. They really do need a good running game, but their offense, they're throwing the ball is absolutely incredible. Obviously, look at all those weapons. Look what Dak Prescott's able to do, especially now that he's healthy. He did end up leaving the game in a walking boot though, so we'll see what happens there. I reckon it's nothing any too serious. But yeah, man, that 1-2 punch from Zeke and Pollard is just absolutely incredible, and will continue to keep winning games for him. And yeah, Dak's returning to MVP form. CD Lamb has just been absolutely unreal. Man, it's hard to not like this team, especially like you said, they're 5-1. But the first loss of the season was at Tampa, and they only just lost to that game to Tom Brady. And there's no shame in that. I think they lost by like 3 points or something. Like absolutely no shame in that. So if it wasn't for going to the Super Bowl champion's house and losing that game, they'd be 6-0 as well at the moment. So like they got a pretty easy run of games coming up as well. So yeah, this team's definitely going to make a massive push for the Super Bowl. Yeah, anyone who just dismisses Cowboys at this point is just kind of like Dallas hate. I'm not a Dallas fan either, but you got to love what they're putting together this season.
Yeah, I don't know how you can't like that. Like it wasn't that long ago Dallas was America's team, and until Tom Brady and the New England Pats really started to make a statement on the NFL. But for so long, the Cowboys were America's team. Like they were the poster boys for NFL. Like
Oh, bloody oath.
the Cowboys were old reliables. You know, like it's crazy, but I mean it's heartbreaking for New England after playing pretty well. Like Mac Jones, pretty good game. Like
Oh,
didn't throw it a lot. Comparatively to Dak, but I mean, he threw it well when he did. Like 229 yards, two tutties, one interception. So like they're not bad. They're not bad numbers. But Damian Harris played really well. 18 carries for 100 yards. Like
phenomenal. Yeah, he was
yeah,
awesome for him.
yeah, really really good. Like Kendrick Bourne, one reception, 75. Jacoby Myers, 5 receptions, 44 yards. So it's really like it seems to me like I didn't get to catch the game, but just looking over like the stats and reading about it, it seems to me like New England just like it was really where the passing came unstuck for them. Like it was good passing, but it wasn't enough of it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, Mac Jones actually started off today. I think it was 11 from 11, and then it was like I think his first incompletion was an interception, unfortunately. So like, yeah, he's really really good. I think he was taken almost 17th overall in the draft, so no one was really expecting this much this quick, especially in comparison to some of the other rookie quarterbacks. But a lot of dinking and dacking, which is like what Dak Prescott used to get accused for. Just taking those short, quick passes, so it'd have like a lot of passes, high completion rate, but you're not really getting too far. If it wasn't for Harris's running game, there definitely would have been a lot more of a hole. But then, in saying that, he had that 75-yard bomb to Bourne to go ahead in the fourth quarter. So like, and that was his biggest pass by far. I think his biggest pass before that was 30 yards. So we haven't seen the end of Mac Jones yet by far. Yeah, Patriots moved to 2-4. Man, Cowboys, man. I never thought I'd say it, but I'm actually not a Cowboy fan, but I'm kind of enjoying watching them play at the moment.
Yeah, man, the Cowboys are an
Uh,
exciting team right now.
yeah, bloody earth, must see TV. Every time there's one on, I'll try and get up and watch it, unless it's like one of those like 3 o'clock ones, and then I don't care that much. Awesome. Well, a nice easy one after that was just the Seahawks and Steelers. Steelers take this one 23-20 in overtime. Look, Seahawks without Russell Wilson. I can't see them winning too many games, especially with their failed Jets quarterback of 2014, Geno Smith, beyond the helm. He played good enough, but I'm not really expecting anything too special for them, unfortunately. Sweet as. So that wraps up all the games played so far. That just leaves a tomorrow game, which is the Bills at the Titans. Fun fact for this one: this will be the first time Bills have actually played a team with a winning record this season. Buffalo's defense is ranked number one overall in the NFL and a top five in stopping the run. But Derrick Henry is the league's leading rusher for a reason, so it's going to be a fantastic matchup. Titans will also have AJ Brown and Julio Jones back, which should help free up the box for Henry. This is a fantastic matchup on paper, and the Bills are red hot at the moment with Josh Allen laying claim to potential MVP honors over the last couple of weeks, and a win in Tennessee will do wonders for that argument. What do you reckon, Lockie? Who do you reckon takes this one out?
Look, it's a tough one. I'm not. I look. I'm leaning towards the Bills probably getting up. Um, I think they'll be the better side, but I don't have any great deal of reasoning why the Bills will get up. I've got good faith in the Bills team. I think they're playing well. I think that, again they're a great side. So yeah, it's a Bills for me.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I'm probably gonna keep picking the Bills until they give you a reason not to. At this point, they've just been playing absolutely unreal, especially what they did to this Kansas City. Look, man, Titans are a little banged up at the moment. If Fulton and Bud Dupree play, I'm a massive fan of the underdogs, and I lose a couple bets this way. But I actually do like Titans to cover the 6 point spread, and maybe even take the W clean. But without them, I think Buffalo just picks their defenses apart. Like they're already behind the 8 ball, so if they have anyone missing in this game, It's going to be very, very hard for him. Um, yeah, injuries aside, if everyone's playing, I kind of like Titans for the upset just because upsets happen. And this week has been so predictable almost. Like every game that you kind of could pick the winner pretty much. Um, so yeah, look, there's going to be one massive upset, one of the Titans. Let's go Titans.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, let's move on to the NBA. It is opening week starting on Wednesday morning. So, look, exciting times. NBA season's back. It's a good time of the year always to get games back happening. Look, we're gonna go through some of the awards coming up that we'll review at the end of at the end of the season, which will be next year. We're gonna break down some of the key awards. So I reckon let's start from sort of the lesser ones. Obviously, we're not gonna do the community award and all that because it's just too hard to say. Um,
Yeah.
but let's start with six man of the year. Who's your six man of the year?
Who won it last year? Was it Jordan Clarkson?
I think so. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, look, he's probably got as good a shot as any, I guess. I think for my six man of the year, hmm, let's go. No, let's just go Jordan Clarkson. That Utah team is awesome. They need his scoring off the bench, honestly. They really don't have much else other than the firepower they already have on the court. And so, look, they're going to look to Jordan Clarkson and probably drop another 20 bomb again. If Buddy Hield plays off the bench for the majority, I like Buddy Hield for it too, because like we talked about this a little last week. Don't really know what to expect from the Kings next season. But if he stays off the bench and he can come on and give you like 20, 21 a night, then yeah, I definitely don't see any reason why Buddy Hield can't take that either.
Yeah, I had Buddy Hield as my pick if he was coming off the
Oh.
bench.
There you
Like
go, eh?
I just
Yeah.
I think his shooting's impressive, and if he can get hot and play and they keep him on the bench for most of the season, where I think he's probably going to be best, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he's set for a great season, and if Buddy Hield is shooting well, the Kings team is successful.
Yeah, like no, look, I definitely can't argue with that, man. They're gonna need every bit of it,
Yeah,
especially in that stacked West. But yeah, no, yeah, I like that. I like him too. Same another one, Malik Beasley. I'll just throw in an honorable mention. I kind of like him if he stays off the bench and Timberwolves do well. Then yeah, Malik Beasley can definitely have a crack at that too.
yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, mate. Well, so we've just done six man of the year. Let's just keep it moving again. Who do you think takes defensive player of the year?
Depoy. I mean, there's so many good defensive players. That's what I love about the NBA. I think it's getting more defensive now. Like I think I do like the NBA is actually there are actually some defensive kings right now. Like because it was definitely went through a period there where the NBA was like a lot like an all-star game. It was just all about who could score the most points, not really defending.
Definitely.
Um, yeah. Look, it's so hard to say. Hey, like I like Bam if he can recreate his season a couple years ago. I like Bam for Depoy.
Oh, definitely. That's a good pick. Yeah, no, Bam definitely could lay claim to that. I think Gobert won it last year, so it is kind of like a big man's award. Greek Freak obviously could have a crack at it. My actual pick before this year started, before I knew about all this COVID stuff, was actually Jonathan Isaac. I thought like he's going to bounce back from his injury, put in another credible season. Man was like an absolute steal and block machine. But I don't know how many games he's going to miss next to COVID, and he's going to miss the start of the year as well. Anthony Davis as well could be another one. I want to say Greek Freak takes Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I like it. It's I think Greek's gonna have it. I mean, we'll get into it soon, but I think that won't be the only award Greek can collect again this season if he gets away, like if he can play well and stay healthy. Well, what's our next award? It can't be MVP. We got something else. I'm surely I'm missing it. Oh,
Mr.
Rookie of the
Fruit.
Year. Rookie of the Year.
Oh, rookie. Yeah.
Rookie of the Year. Oh, who you got?
Yeah. Look, I'm just gonna go Cade Cunningham here. The Detroit Pistons suck, and they're gonna need him. Like, how many point guards have Detroit drafted in the last like how many years? And none of like one of them's got to be good, right? Let's go Cade Cunningham. He's definitely gonna have the most opportunity, other than Jeremiah Grant. There's really no one else in that team who's going to be doing a lot of scoring. So yeah, I'm gonna go Cade Cunningham, number one overall pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a very left field pick and probably not that serious, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Josh
He's
Giddey.
not. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I was like, he's not. All right, what's your reasoning behind that one, mate?
Look, he's looked good in the preseason, and I know it's only preseason, but he's looked good in the preseason, and you never know, mate. Like if he works in conjunction with guys like SGA and etc., you never know. Like he could go off. And if he does,
Potential to do
I'm
it.
here for it.
Yeah, and you would have made the pick. Like you would have seen it before anyone else did, mate.
That's it. You heard it here
Yeah.
first.
Sweet as well. Most improved player of the year. Do you want to kick us off with that one, mate?
Oh, most improved, man. So many good. I'd almost say Buddy Hield. I think he can hit.
Potential.
I think he can hit some form. Another one would be probably Lonzo. I reckon he's really starting to find his feet in the NBA.
Yeah.
And potentially like this season he could really hit his strides. And just take it up a whole new level.
What's Buddy Hield got to average though for him to get most improved player? You reckon that like you have to like make a jump because he had a bit of a quiet year last year with all the problems he was having with Luke Walton. But yeah, he probably needs to make like that like 23 point per game jump. And if he can do that, then definitely I like that. I did have Lonzo as if he was around there. I do like Lonzo for most improved player. It definitely has the potential to do it. He should really average like 9 assists this year, honestly. But I'm going to Devontae Graham for the new point guard for the New Orleans Pelicans. Absolutely three machine. Dish it, dime it, anything you want to do with him. He's going to have a lot of chance to do that now. They've just had a massive clear out of all their point guards. If he can go out there and give us like almost 20 points a game, like 3, 4 threes a game, and get those assist numbers up to like around the 9 mark, then yeah, Devontae Graham is going to be my pick for most improved player of the year.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna stick with Lonzo regardless. I think he's gonna be really good. I think I think like he's one of those guys that's just taken a few seasons to settle into the NBA.
Oh, he's got
But
his jump shot cleaned all the way up though.
yeah, like his shot's looking way better.
Yeah,
It it's looking way less vulnerable. I
the
I
word for it.
I think I think he's gonna do really well. It obviously a lot of it's gonna depend on how well the rest of his team plays, if they're gonna bank in those assists for him or not. Because he can dish out as many passes as you want, but if they're missing, they're not going to go on the stat board. And at the end of the day, it's all about stat boards for awards, isn't
Oh,
it?
definitely. But it's going to do well with Vukovic underneath the hoop for him as well.
Well, that's
Like, look
right.
at all
Yeah,
those pieces around him: DeRozan, Levine, Vukovic. Someone's going to be open, and it's probably going to be Lonzo that finds them. The only issue is just going to be if Kobe White just like finds form and starts taking minutes away from him.
yeah.
But there's no reason those two can't play on the same time as when Levine comes out. So yeah, I like the Lonzo pick definitely.
I do like Ball at Chicago though.
Mm. No, it looks good, eh? I really like that Chicago team, honestly.
Yeah, no,
They look dangerous.
they're a little underdogs, but I like them.
Mm. Yeah, you never really want to pick like a fully new assembled team. But man, there's no reason that team shouldn't work together.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. No, too cool. All right.
Alrighty, does that just leave us the big one?
Yeah, it leaves us with the MVP.
Oh, here we go. You want me to do it? You want to do it?
Look, I've got Giannis again.
You going Giannis for it?
Yeah.
Can't hate that, honestly. Yeah, look, probably doesn't need that much more of like talking about.
I think he's still got his best seasons ahead of him.
Yeah, no one says otherwise every year.
Unless the NBA does the LeBron effect and doesn't vote for him because he's almost too good, or like
Yeah.
or they take for granted for like that's what they did with LeBron for years, wasn't it? Like
Oh, definitely.
had so many
He's
MVP
probably got
years
another couple of years before that happens.
and they wouldn't give it to him. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think Giannis has got a couple of years till it happens, but I wouldn't doubt I don't doubt him from winning another.
Oh, definitely. No, he's definitely in the race for it, especially considering like you look at all the top teams and like every team's like two best players are like ahead of Bucks two best players. Like with Bucks is like it is Giannis. Like obviously Chris Middleton made a massive leap last year, but like you look at LeBron and then you got AD. You look at KD and you got Kyrie. I mean not Kyrie, James Harden. Kyrie's gone. but yeah, no. Look, so if Bucks can finish number one again in the East, then definitely you should take it. Um, I'm going to probably go. It's a 2 horse race for me. With Jamal Murray being out, I was gonna go Joker, but I really feel like it's a Luka time. I think Luka gets his first MVP. I don't know how well Dallas do. If Dallas can finish like top 5, then he'll lock it up. But yeah, Joker's got his work cut out for him. No Jamal Murray. Another person we forgot about for like most improved potentially. With Michael Porter Jr. if he ends up
Yeah,
playing
for sure.
every game this year.
MPJ, yeah, obviously had his injury
Yeah,
concerns in the past, but if he's firing, man,
yeah.
he's a dangerous player to be around, and yeah, for sure.
Mm. With no Jamal Murray, he can make a massive step.
Yeah,
Like he'll have the shots to take. Like if he could probably easily get around like the 25 point per game mark, and he'd be laughing. But I've seen somewhere, but he hasn't had his COVID shots yet either. So I don't know how much game time he's going to be getting. Fingers crossed that all works out. But yeah, yeah. I'm gonna lock in Luka Doncic for my MVP of the year award.
Yeah, great. And leaves only one award left, and that's the oh, no, let's go the Eastern Conference and Western Conference champions. Let's do that first. Let's go that way, so we can so we tell who's going to be in the finals, but we'll pick the conference winners first, I reckon.
The regular season champions, mate.
Yeah, just like the Western and Eastern Conference winners. So like just before we get to the finals, who's winning those?
Um, we're gonna do East first.
Yeah, we can do East
Let's
first.
go. Well, we don't know what to really expect for the Nets yet. Obviously, without Kyrie, anything can like now that the Nets don't have Kyrie, KD and James Harden are definitely well capable of picking up the slack for that one. But you have him as the MVP, and he's the only way he's going to win MVP is if he tops the table in the East. So I'm going to go Bucks to win the East.
Your Bucks win East.
Yep,
Yeah, I think it's hard to look past the Bucks for the East, in my opinion.
definitely.
I think they're just too good. Like, look, if Atlanta has another good season, they could challenge them for it. Like, I think the difference between Atlanta and Milwaukee is Milwaukee really relies on Giannis playing well. Like we saw it against, we saw it in the like in the playoffs last season when Giannis wasn't playing well those first couple games. It was just like,
Yeah. Yeah, well, Hawks took 2 games off him.
yeah, that's right.
Miami took no games off him. Like,
Yeah,
but and then obviously the Nets series went down to like Game 7 where KD had this like his toenail on the line. If it wasn't for that, then they would have taken that too. But yeah, anything can happen, especially in the East. But yeah, look, Greek's a little bit too strong for me out there. I think it's just a really well put together team, even though he is definitely the 1A. They have the pieces around him that all know their roles type thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Awesome. So you're looking in Bucks as well?
Yeah, and for the West, I think I say there's like the West is harder in my
I know what you
opinion.
want to say. I know what you want to say.
I know what I want to say, but I don't think it's the right answer because I don't think that they're going to get there. Like I think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to make the playoffs and then fight their way out that way. Look, I'm call it. It's not going to be Denver. It's not going to be the Lakers. It's not going to be the Clippers for sure. That's for sure. It's not going to be the Clippers because I think Kawhi's out for
Yeah,
still
they'll be
quite
lucky to.
some time.
Yeah, they'll be
Um,
lucky to make the 8.
yeah, that's right. Look, I give Golden State a fair chance.
They
Um,
can do it.
I mean, Iggy's back, Clay, Steph. Just depends. It just depends. But look, call it. I reckon I'm gonna have to say Dark Horse and the Suns take number one through a through a
Why not have to be that much of a dark horse, eh?
through a
Yeah.
series of unfortunate events for other teams like just injuries and whatnot. I think the Phoenix Suns will stay healthier. They got a young squad like
Who finished top of the season last
last
year for the
last year.
West?
Oh,
It wasn't Suns, was it?
I don't think so. I'd have to have a look, but I don't even know where I'd find it. But look, I apparently the
You're gonna
Jazz.
go the Suns, mate, for the West?
Yeah, I'm going the Suns to the West though.
No, definitely. Yeah. Look, I love me a bit of a gamble. I'm actually going to take the Warriors for this one. Like they got like a little, I think, less than a month before Clay comes back, and even then, he probably won't be fully healthy. But they're just going to be a better team this year. I think every year that the younger players get to play with the older ones, they're going to be better. Jordan Poole looks to take another step this year. I think they got Otto Porter Jr. now as well, which because they lost Kelly Oubre Jr., but you'll take Otto Porter definitely to fill that void. Obviously Draymond, if he can just, it was almost like a walking triple double. Like it was a triple single, really, isn't he? But yeah, if he can just get those, if he can go find the form that they had when shooting threes from when they're actually winning titles, and he gets those assists and those rebounds as well with that, and it takes so much pressure off Steph Curry. Like with Klay Thompson back as well, I want to lock in the Golden State Warriors for the top of their West. Whether they win it or not, I don't know, but I like them to finish number one.
Hell, I just did some looking. It was the Jazz that finished number one in the West
The
last
Jazz
year.
finished number one.
Yeah, it was
What?
Jazz, Suns, Nuggets, Clippers.
Ah, Suns were. There you go. Yeah. But yeah, Jazz, let's go. And we just kind of like haven't spoken about them at all. Well, Jazz is meant to be getting better. You want to like
Yeah,
well, you know,
I don't
how
think
much better can they get? I thought they finished number one. Like
Jazz went 52-20 last season.
yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
Like We're
That's
not
actually
talking about
that
them
was
at all. I don't think anyone's talking about the Jazz.
that's actually the best record in the NBA last season.
Yeah, I believe it. And yeah, and Clarkson obviously won 6 man of the year, so they're gonna have to have another season like that for him to get it.
In fact,
But yeah, definitely
the
capable.
West top two West teams had the best records in the NBA last season.
Shock.
Yeah, Suns 51-21, and then Jazz 52-20.
Yeah, just behind him. There you go.
Yeah, so look, it was a tightly contested race in the West, but yeah, I think the West is a bit easier at the moment.
Didn't do Utah a lot of good in the postseason, but neither here nor there.
Wait for Jingles to fire up this season, mate. He's gonna go off.
I drafted Jingles, baby. Don't worry about
Yeah.
that.
All right. Well,
Oh,
they're our
that's
two
actually a pretty
teams.
good segue.
Yeah. So what did we have? I had Milwaukee and Phoenix.
Yeah, Milwaukee and Phoenix, yeah, and I went Bucks as well. So obviously Bucks are guaranteed to win now because we both picked them.
Mm,
And then Golden State Warriors to take the West.
yeah. Uh, who have you got winning the finals this year?
Um, Atlanta Hawks, baby. Atlanta Hawks are winning this. They're running the whole way through. Obviously, get Cam Reddish back now. We got DeAndre Hunter. Everyone's getting some time on their belts. Got Clint Capella, one of the best big men underneath that hoop. Absolutely rebounding, blocking machine. John Collins only getting better. Trey Young now is coming into what is like fourth year. Man, give me the Atlanta Hawks, baby. Atlanta Hawks are taking this easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We'll need someone else to beat the Bucks on the way there, obviously, because I don't think we can beat the Bucks. But as long as someone else can take them out, then we can take that guy out. All I know for sure is that Miami Heat are not winning it. That's that's pretty much it.
You're just certain that the Miami Heat aren't winning it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting. But look, I'm probably gonna pick. Yeah, it depends if the Bucks go down. If the Bucks go down for some reason or another in the final, like in the playoffs somewhere, the finals is wide open. I think. Um, I don't know. Depending on standings, I kind of like Phoenix.
Well, look how close they got last year, and it's kind of just like a CP3 injury
Yeah,
that
but
kind
I
of
mean, they
derailed them a
kind of
little
got
bit
close
again.
last year by some fortunate events in their favor. But
Oh, you mean like every team they versed in the West was injured?
yeah,
That,
yeah.
yeah.
They'll be
Yeah,
better.
but hey,
They'll be better for the experience, better for the run.
yeah, well, Devin Book, like, obviously Devin Booker's already an all-star player, but he really does need to take the next step. DeAndre Ayton just got played. He needs to take another step as well. It's going to be hard for him to do, but if he can start spreading that floor a little bit more, anything can really happen there. They have a really nice young nucleus around Chris Paul, and obviously his leadership is fantastic. But I think he's going on almost 40. So I don't know. And it's not like he was ever like injury free. So like, are we expecting this year to him for? I don't think has he ever had a season since he was in, like in Charlotte, like that he hasn't been injured. So like, I'm not really putting all my money on them just for that one reason. Like, if he can become the anomaly and stay healthy, then yeah, the sky's the limit for him. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to be betting on it anytime soon.
Yeah, that's right. What do you reckon of this Kyrie Irving situation?
Look, it's like I'm like a two-sided coin on this one. On one side, I respect the fact that he has actually said something and committed to it 1,000%. First time in his life he's probably really committed to anything, except for like because it's definitely not the Australian basketball team, national team, that's for sure.
Or his Celtics
And
contract?
it wasn't LeBron, and it wasn't the Celtics. So he had to pick his battle, and he chose this one. It's an odd one to choose. But look, at least he's committed to it at the end of the day. So I respect the fact that he said it, he's committed to it, and he's not going to bow down. And like full respect, obviously, Wiggins and a lot of a host of other players have all done the same, have ended up caving to it. So I respect that he's doing that. But on the other hand, like you have a real chance to win the NBA championship this year. Like with a healthy KD and James Harden, like the sky's the absolute limit. Um, I respect him for sticking to it. It just probably wasn't the battle to lay down your shield for, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I think he's really going
However
to
you
cost
feel
his
about the
team.
whole like vaccinations and stuff. Hmm.
I think he's
Yeah, well, they're
costing
gonna
them
have
that
to
the
trade him, and then
championship.
like, what's the trade value? Yeah,
Nothing.
it could potentially like they could probably get him. They could probably like look how far they got really with Adam last year, so they could probably do it again. But if you have Kyrie there, as well as those two guys, as well as that stacked team is, and if Kyrie is healthy and playing, I'd probably pick them to win the championship, and they probably still might win the championship. But with him there, they definitely had probably the better shot at anybody. So like you got to kind of like look what you're sacrificing there. I've seen like a lot of things get floated around the trading for like Ben Simmons or something like that. That'd be pretty funny. But like you can't even. The Nets have come out and spoken out, and they're like, "Look, he's we respect him for making this decision, but we're going to keep it moving. We're moving forward. We don't want him as a part-time player. We don't want him for only like half the season, or when he's not playing in New York or in LA. So like I don't know what they really do with him now. I think the only thing you can really do is trade him. But what do you get for Kyrie Irving at this point if he's not going to play?
Yeah,
Um, it's a weird one, but yeah, it just kind of is what it is at this point.
yeah, no, I
So,
agree. Um, I think there's too much more to say about it. Look, I think Kyrie is hurting the Nets, but they'll be fine without him. But they're better off with him, like for sure. Like, but it's interesting.
yeah.
Like, I don't think there's many places he would be able to play anyway, even if he was, even if they did let him play without full time.
Orlando would probably be the only one because it's in Florida, I guess, and you get him for like half the season for the home games. Because Miami Heat aren't going to trade for him. Like they're not going to get trade whatever they want for Kyrie Irving for like a half a season player. The only team that's desperate enough to do something like that in the Florida region would probably be Orlando Magic. But then they just drafted Suggs, and they've got a host of young good point guards, so they probably could trade him. Um, Markel Fultz, obviously Cole Anthony, then now Suggs. They have a lot of good point guards, so maybe you could get him for like one of those guys. I don't know. But yeah, other than that, there's really nowhere else for him to go because it's not even just like he can play if it's not in Florida, well, he can't play in New York, he can't play in LA, and that's like 5 teams there. So like, what's the trade value? Like, is he just going to sit out the rest of the year? You reckon, or do you reckon something happens with him?
Kyrie,
Hmm.
no, he's standing firm on. I actually do think he'll stand firm on this one.
Yeah,
I actually think he might. He claims to be it won't make him retire, but I think it
might not
might.
be up to him.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
I don't think it'll be up to him. Um,
yeah, exactly right.
Simmons on the other hand, what do you reckon about Simmons?
Well, he's finally reported back to Philly. He's not going to play the last preseason. He didn't play the last preseason game, but he's finally back there. Look, it's going to be awkward as heck until they trade him. Like I don't know how obviously they had the whole thing about Joel Embiid coming out speaking out against him. And I'm not sure if you've seen that one on Twitter the other day of Danny Green coming out and pretty much demanding that Ben Simmons apologize and just keep it moving. And like on one hand, I don't really know what he has to apologize for. Like these people are not helping the situation. It's gonna be pretty awkward being on the same court, especially if that dude is your leader of the court. Like I don't know, man. That's going to be super awkward. Hopefully, he can just come out, play a couple really good games like James Harden did. Someone ends up trading for him. Just thank you, hey, thank you. How you doing? Keep it moving.
Yeah,
And everyone can just move on from this and just like wash their hands with this whole scenario. It's unfortunate how it played out, but it's good to see at least Ben Simmons is now coming back and being professional about it. Whether or not it was just all about the money and him not wanting to get fined any more of it. He is still back nonetheless. So thank you, Ben, for coming back. Yeah, hopefully someone makes a trade for him, and yeah, and he has and he has like an all-time All-Star year, and he wins MVP this year, and he averages 25 points. Because at the end of the day, he's Australian. We do want the best for him, but he just needs to clean up his act a little bit, doesn't he?
yeah, well that's right. If like this is so unnecessary for Ben Simmons because he's such a talent. He's just carrying on like a pork chop at this point. Like no one likes the guy that carries on like a sore loser, but here we are. Um,
Yeah,
so look, I actually think Ben will have a good season if he can probably make amends. If he actually is intentional about making amends, and because Tobias Harris came out and said we're all grown adults, we can play this out. But how much do you really believe it? Like that sort of thing
not
doesn't
at all.
that thing doesn't just like disappear. Like
Mm.
good little PR statement, but no.
Yeah. Well, think about the people that have spoken out against Ben and like blamed him, rightly so, I guess. How they went about it was awfully. But yeah, Joel Embiid come out. You've got Danny Green come out, who's like, and yeah, Danny Green isn't that much at the moment, but he's still like a 3-time NBA champion. The coach came up against him and called and shoot him out after the finals loss to the Hawks, and then like repeatedly since then. So it's like 3 starting players and a coach that all just like come out against you. It's going to be very, very difficult to overcome that. Winning cures all. If they can come out and just somehow just string together wins and they all play well, then I guess like you'll be able to move on. But it's going to be pretty rough if they lose their first like 5 or so games. Like, what are you going to do there?
Yeah,
It's
that's
just going
right.
to tank his draft value even more.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Look, interesting season ahead for the NBA. Excited to get see the first game tip off on Wednesday. So look, exciting times. Uh, I'm not sure what the first game of the season is. Are you up with it?
Is it Golden State Warriors?
It could,
I'm pretty sure. Golden State is playing. There's only a couple of teams playing, I think, on the first day, and then everyone's playing the next day.
Yeah, that's generally how it goes. There's a couple of games on opening night, and then it's just a free for all after that. It's Brooklyn at Milwaukee, and then Golden State at Lakers.
Yeah, nice. What a good couple games to start us off, eh?
Yeah, so I think who he picks those, I've got probably Milwaukee coming out just coming off the back of a championship. I think they're going to come out and win that one. And then I reckon Golden State Warriors will give Lakers a hard run, but I think Lakers might come away with that one. But you never know. Lakers might have some real teething issues early on. Like it's pretty much a whole new squad again, so you just don't know. Like they're all mates, but like that doesn't solve much. It can still have plenty of teething issues.
Oh, definitely. And I'm glad that for our first predictions of the NBA season, we have two completely different picks. So now we can really see who was right on this one once we wrap this up next week. I'm going the Brooklyn Nets as like a big redemption. We're all coming together. Look at us go. And they're all going to bond over this whole Kyrie thing. We're going to come out and get the dub against Bucks. Who's a better team? I'm not sure, but I think Brooklyn take that first game, definitely. And I'm going to go Golden State Warriors over the Lakers just for the same points you just mentioned, the teething issues. They played maybe one preseason game for 15 minutes with all three of those dudes on the court together, like Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James, obviously. They have not played a lot together. And when they did, Russell Westbrook turned it over 11 times.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take some time. Like, I thought, like, I guess, like, you're just so scared about all three of these dudes getting injured. But you really needed to run these guys out here in the preseason, in the summer league and whatnot, just so they had some experience
It's
together.
surprising to
Because
me
now,
that they didn't.
no, this is the point of the preseason is so you can work stuff out in the court because what's working in practice. Like, yeah, I really like the Lakers' second team, like off the bench, but they're not exactly all-star defenders. Like, there's probably not one good defender amongst them all, really. Like, other than like DeAndre Jordan, like so you really like you're only practicing against yourself here. You really needed to like do something. I know it's only preseason, but just get some reps together. And they played one game together with all three. They had games where two of them would play, one of them would play, two of them would play, and then, so yeah, I got no idea what to expect. Maybe Lakers just come out and absolutely just explode. Like, who knows? But I'm taking the chemistry. I'm taking my pick to win the West. I'm taking Golden State Warriors. So we got two different picks, mate, for the first game. There we go.
Yeah, you love to see
I'll
it.
make sure to call you. I'll make sure to call you out on Twitter once my ones win.
Yeah, please do.
I will.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap up the show there. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Collateral Podcast, our sports podcast, where we've been watching it live on Twitch or replay on Twitch or on the YouTube channel. We're thankful you tuning in. But on behalf of myself, Lockie, and Wusty, we're gonna call it a night there. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Enjoy your week. Make sure you watch plenty of sport.
Oh yeah, guys. Thank you.